Headlines. Federal government files 20-count fresh charge against suspended CBN Governor Emefiele. Gunmen attack school, kill 2 teachers, injures vice principal in Plateau State. Headline: inflation sustains 7-month rise. And on the foreign scene, West African military chiefs to discuss next steps Thursday, Friday. Hello and welcome to Trust News Updates. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in detail. The federal government has applied to withdraw the illegal possession of firearms charge it filed against suspended Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele at the Federal High Court in Lagos. Justice Nicholas Owebo had on July 25th admitted Emefiele to a 20 million naira bail on a 2-count charge of illegal possession of firearms and ammunition and ordered his remand at the Ikoyi Correctional Center pending the fulfillment of his bail conditions. Emefiele was, however, rearrested by operatives of Department of State Services, that's the DSS. The report.
The defense legal team asked courts to dismiss the application to withdraw the charges because the prosecution disobeyed the court's order granting the defendants bail. The Director of Public Prosecutions at the Federal Ministry of Justice, Mohammed Abubakar, said its decision to withdraw the charges is informed by emerging facts and circumstances of the case which requires further investigation.
So we are withdrawing pending further investigation. At the end of which we probably come back with more charges, more counts.
Counsel for Emefiele, Joseph Daudu San, responded that such a request under sections 174, subsection 1 and 3 of the Nigerian Constitution cannot be made orally, but through a formal application that must demonstrate the public interest, the interest of justice, and the need to prevent abuse of legal system.
Of an order that says you can go to your house and sleep. Which will you take? We don't care about access. We are not asking for access. We are saying that the Nigerian laws must be obeyed. And if the courts in this country give an order, God forbid the day that court orders will be subject to interpretation of every subordinate agency. It will then get to the point that a police corporal will say, is it not the same court that the other people are disobeying? And when a man is in two fighting and the magistrate says he should go home, he will decide to say, no, you cannot go. So it starts from this level. If it can be done at this level and it is not attended to, then it will spread to the bottom and it will be a lawless society.
The DPP told reporters that Emefiele is facing a 20-count charge in the FCT High Court for allegedly unlawful advantages that violates the ICPC Act. Abubakar explained that there were administrative procedures the DSS had to follow before transferring a detainee to another agency, which caused a delay in the agency's compliance with the court order.
The first issue of access is not true. He has unfettered access to his lawyers, his relatives, his friends at all times. On the matter of disobedience, we are not in disobedience of the court order. When the court rendered its ruling granting the defendant bail, it was in 2 legs. It was granted bail and to be remanded in the custody of the correctional service pending fulfillment of bail conditions.
The judge adjourned the case till Thursday, August 17th, to rule on the application.
Now we move to security, where gunmen have killed 2 secondary school teachers and injured the vice principal of Beko Comprehensive High School in Kui community of Riom local government area of Plateau State. The deceased, Ruang Denladi and Sandra Ruang Denladi, were a couple who recently got married. The spokesperson of Birom Youth's Molder Association, Ruang Tengwang, who confirmed the incident on Tuesday, said the victims were killed on Monday when the staff of the school were holding a meeting in preparation to a speech and prize giving day scheduled to hold on Friday. The group accused Fulani herders of killing the teachers, explaining that the herders opened fire on the staff of the school when they were asked to leave the school compound while the meeting was going on. But the state chairman of the Gang Allah Fulani Development Association, Garba Abdullahi, denied the allegation, saying the killing was not carried out by Fulani herders, adding that herders were not grazing around the said school, calling on the security to investigate the matter and fish out the perpetrators of the act. A spokesperson of the State Police Command, DSP Alabo Alfred, is yet to respond to the inquiry on the matter by our correspondent. As part of efforts to eradicate armed banditry and criminal elements from Operation Safe Haven Joint Operation Area, troops of Operation Hakoran Damasa 4 have neutralized 2 armed robbers in southern Kaduna General Area. Captain Oya James, who disclosed this to journalists in Jos, said the troops of the operation had also arrested 62 suspects in connection with armed robbery, gun running, kidnapping, armed banditry and other heinous crimes, adding that the operation had recovered 4 locally fabricated rifles, 2 Dane guns, 21 rounds of 7.62mm special, 13 rounds of 9mm, 11 cartridges, 6 AK-47 magazines, among other dangerous weapons. The spokesperson of the operation also said troops have also recovered 43 rustled cows and 17 sheep, adding that a total number of 426 cows were recovered for grazing on farmlands belonging to locals across Operation Safe Haven Joint Operation Area and were handed over to local authorities in the local governments for settlement in liaison with the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Hassan Bala and the Governor of Niger State, Umar Bago, met in Abuja over the incident involving a NAF helicopter that crashed in Badna Village, Shiroro local government area. At least 20 soldiers were killed in an ambush by bandits along the Zungeru-Tejina Road in Niger State late Sunday. 53 bandits were reportedly killed in the encounter. Speaking during the meeting, the governor, who first ordered that a minute silence be observed for the departed souls, charged the Air Force officers and the entire military not to be deterred by the actions of non-state actors. On his part, the Air Chief said measures have been put in place to ensure such incident does not happen again, adding that incidents like that cannot totally be ruled out. The National Bureau of Statistics has stated that the headline inflation rate for the month of July 2023 increased to 24.08% compared to 22.79% recorded in June 2023. NBS, in a report, said the rise represented an increase of 1.29 percentage points from the June 2023 headline inflation. The report stated that the increase in the headline index for July 2023 was attributed to an increase in contributions of some items in the basket of goods and services at the divisional level. NBS said these increases were witnessed in food and non-alcoholic beverages, which is 12.47%, housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuel, 4.03%, clothing and footwear, 1.84%, transport, 1.57%, furnishings and household equipment and maintenance, 1.21%, education, 0.95%, and health, 0.72%. Others are miscellaneous goods and services, 0.40%, restaurants and hotels, 0.29%, alcoholic beverages, tobacco and cola, 0.26%, recreation and culture, 0.17%, and communication, 0.16%. The reports showed that food component sub-index increased by 26.98% on a year-on-year basis, which was 4.97% points higher relative to the rate recorded in June 2022, which was 22.02%. For all items less farm produce, its figure stood at 20.47% in July 2023 on a year-on-year basis. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says it has no plan to raise the pump price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol. In a terse statement on Monday night, the company urged Nigerians to disregard speculations of a fresh hike in price of the product. The president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, had on Monday warned the NNPC Limited against fresh petrol price hike. However, NNPC Limited spokesman Muhammad Garbadin, in a statement, said the company has no intention to increase petrol price for the third consecutive time since the removal of petrol subsidy on May 29, 2023. Operatives of the Kano State Road and Traffic Agency have clashed with tricycle riders along the Zaria-Kano Road, leaving commuters stranded and touts attacking people indiscriminately. 2 persons have been allegedly injured while passers-by scampered for safety. Eyewitnesses explained that a team of Karota operatives dragged an erring tricycle rider who refused to comply, leading to an altercation which left a passenger injured and the tricycle damaged. Shortly after, tricycle riders stormed Karota office adjacent to the scene of the incident, leading to an ugly exchange between the 2 parties. Tricycle riders and Karota operatives have been at loggerheads with each other over alleged high-handedness of Karota officials against the riders. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf changed the leadership of the agency in an effort to reposition the agency and bring changes to its operations. When contacted, Karota spokesman Nabilusi Abubakar Kofarna Isa confirmed the incident, saying that police have been informed and they are investigating the matter. A senior magistrate court 3B Ungwandaji, Mina, Niger State, has remanded a 55-year-old Ya'u Ibrahim of Kundu Village, Rafi local government area of the state, in Mina Old Correctional Center till September 11 for allegedly raping and infecting a 6-year-old girl with sexually transmitted disease. The police prosecutor, Inspector Aliyu Yakubu, told the court that on August 3rd, when Abdullahi Dauda of the same village reported at Kagara Police Division that the suspect lured his 6-year-old daughter, who is currently in primary 1, to his room and had unlawful sexual intercourse with her. Inspector Yakubu also told the court that the little girl sustained injuries on her private part, leading to severe bleeding. He said the offense contravened sections 26 subsection 2 and 27 subsection 2 of the Child Rights and Protection Law, Niger State 2021, as amended. When the charges were read by the magistrate, Hafsat Abdullahi, the suspect pleaded guilty, saying that he was seduced by the little girl after he sent her to help him buy sachet water when he came back from his farm. The prosecution prayed the court to summarily try the suspect, but the presiding magistrate, Hafsat Abdullahi, overruled summary trial, averring that it won't serve justice to the victim. The magistrate said more witnesses were required, even though the suspect had confessed, and ordered for his remand while the case was adjourned till September 11, 2023 for hearing. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at diverse opinions over summer school. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching Trust News Update, a recap of our top stories. We told you that federal government files 20-count fresh charge against suspended CBN Governor Emefiele. We also told you that gunmen attack schools, kill 2 teachers, injures vice principal in Plateau State. Now moving to more stories, residents of Lagos State have been reacting to the Court of Appeals ruling overturning the judgments granting exclusive rights to local governments to conduct statutory marriages in the country. In Lagos, Victoria Tokolo, who sampled the opinion of Nigerians on the recent increase in registry marriages and issuance of marriage certificates in the country following the recent judgment, brings us more.
Some residents of Lagos, while reacting to the appeal court's ruling extending the powers to conduct registry marriages and issuing out certificates to couples, to appeal courts spoke on why some couples prefer registry-conducted unions than those in religious or traditional places of worship.
Prefer going to registry because of the the certificates being given, and a lot of us, a lot of people are just trying to fly away or travel out. They need certificate for marriages. I believe from federal government to local government, it will be much easier for the certificate to be given. Because we have registry under the local government, we have up to the states and the federal. So when it's equally distributed, it will solve a lot of issues.
When you go to religion house for marriage, that is to get a pastoral blessing as a Christian. Then when you go to registry for marriage, either local government, which is common, is for government registration, that we are married together under the law and heart of government. That is why people go for registry. So it's just for documentation sake. But the real marriage itself is endorsement of both parties, parents, the groom's family, the wife's family, and putting their concept in the union of the 2 people. That is a marriage.
Others are of the opinion that local government issuing certificate of marriages is an encouragement for people, especially youths, to leave the country. This, they say, is because most Nigerian youths who are leaving the country do so on the basis of marriages to foreign spouses.
The reason is that they are doing it by law. Even people prefer that one. It's safe course. It's safe course because go to registry, just go with your maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of your family. Some people, after doing that one, they are okay. Instead of doing flamboyant wedding, calling about thousands of people. I don't even understand it, if you get me. So doing that one, I think it's safe course.
Lagos resident, however, urged the local and federal governments to cancel will-be couples before issuing them certificates to reduce the rate of divorces in the country.
It is now a norm that with the long holidays comes summer school. This is a process where pupils are sent to take lessons while the school is on long vacation. Jimmy Adzande speaks to Makurdi residents who express divergent opinions on summer school. The report.
To school administrators and educationists, the summer school is a make-up period for pupils who are slow learners or who easily forget what they have learned during the regular school period.
Some parents, not because they are lazy, but because they felt maybe their children did not do well in the past exams, going to another class, and they feel the summer lesson will aid the children instead of keeping them home, and that is why they enroll them. Not totally because they are lazy or they cannot take care of their children or they don't have time for their children, but they feel that it's another way where the parents are a little bit lacking. They should the teachers should help them to put the children up to date.
Others, however, said the summer school is supposed to be a time for extracurricular activities and nothing more.
The perspective of the parents, parents have so many engagements, and during the holidays, finding it difficult for someone who will stay with children at home, they find it easier that they should stay under that kind of controlled environment. That's on one part. From the part of those who are engaged in summer school activities, is for economic, motives. The idea of summer schools is not supposed to be the way it is now. At this time, children should be exposed to extracurricular activities, maybe visit places where they can have, they can take rest and have some forms of recreation, not the kind of formal schooling as they were during, the term.
To some, it is overworking the young learners who should rest like every normal human being.
For me, there's no basis for summer school. The students are supposed to study for a term and then rest. And so where is the rest? When the students, the pupils or the students are on holiday and you are calling them for summer school because they're supposed to refresh themselves and be ready for another session of their educational career. If a child is good, whether he goes through summer school or whatever, it can still be good.
Either way, summer school has come to stay. The good thing is that enlisting one's wealth is voluntary. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
There have been concerns over divestment by multinational companies from Nigeria over the years. The most recent company to announce its intention to exit Nigeria is GlaxoSmithKline, a pharmaceutical company that has operated in Nigeria for the past 51 years. In this report, Yusuf Akogo highlights reasons why these companies close shop and sometimes move to neighboring countries. The report.
No doubt, Nigeria is a very attractive market to invest in Africa due to its large population and demography. But in recent times, many multinational companies have sold their assets and left the country. Notable amongst them are Trustworth, Etisalat, ExxonMobil, Tiger Brand, HSBC and UBS, and many more. Economists are of the views that some companies are leaving Nigeria largely because of volatility in the foreign exchange market. They believe that most companies are finding it very difficult to access foreign currencies to import goods and machineries required for their operations.
Their major raw material for production are purely imported. So when exchange rate is not adding up in terms of what they should do and what the price is based on the limitation, elasticity of demand or price elasticity of the product they are selling, then they have no option other than to close. And in economics, when you're unable to cover your average variable cost, then such organization is advised strictly to close.
A recent announcement by GlaxoSmithKline, the British multinational pharmaceutical and biotechnology company, to end its 51 years existence in the country after the company's first office was opened in Lagos on July 1, 1972, is sending signals that all is not well with the country's business environment.
The environment is not right. All of the things that we are seeing is a function of the environment. Monetary policy is also not helpful. Inflation is eating the value of revenue from people. Their income is getting reduced in the real terms. And more importantly, the value of the cost of importation to Nigeria is also getting really high. So government, we need to take decision, look at what the problem is and start providing solutions one after the other so that Nigeria will be the most desirable place for people to live in.
But the federal government said it is making efforts to stabilize the economy in a way that will attract foreign investors through policies and programs being introduced.
Plans and strategies which I'm not at liberty to share with you means sooner rather than later the speculators should be careful, because we believe the things we're doing, when they come to fruition, may result in significant losses to them.
Analysts want the government to create an enabling environment for multinationals to repatriate proceeds to their home countries after successful business transactions in Nigeria. Yusuf Akogo, Trust Television News, Abuja.
Away from Nigeria, regional military and political sources say military chiefs from the ECOWAS community of West African states will meet in Ghana on Thursday and Friday to discuss a possible military intervention in Niger. The meeting was called after the bloc's leaders last week approved the deployment of the standby force to restore constitutional order in Niger, whose elected president was toppled by the military on July 26. The meeting was originally scheduled for Saturday in Accra, but was postponed to this week as ECOWAS continues efforts to negotiate with Abdurrahman Chiani-led military government in Niamey. The heads of state of ECOWAS convened in Nigerian capital Abuja last Thursday and affirmed the bloc's preference for a diplomatic outcome. President Mohamed Bazoum's election in 2021 was a landmark in Niger's history, ushering the first peaceful transfer of power since its independence from France in 1960. His ouster unleashed a shockwave around West Africa, where Mali and Burkina Faso, which like Niger, have been struggling to contain armed groups and also suffered military takeovers. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.